Okay, so you're looking for a dog trainer in the Bronx. It can feel like a big task, right? But honestly, it doesn't have to be. We're going to walk through a really practical guide to help you find that perfect match for you and your pup. So, here's what we've got lined up. First, we'll talk about what makes life with a dog in the Bronx so unique. Then, we'll get into what actually makes a good trainer and what your options are for different training styles. After that, we'll cover the really important questions you should be asking, and we'll wrap up with the practical stuff, costs, and some great local spots. All right, first things first, let's talk about the Bronx itself. I mean, living here with a dog is a whole vibe, isn't it? It's got its own rhythm, and getting in sync with that is really the first step to having a well-trained dog. And yeah, that means way more than just crowds. I'm talking about the sound of buses hissing on Fordham Road, all those amazing food smells coming from Arthur Avenue, the sheer number of people and things happening on just one walk around the block. A great trainer gets this. They know how to prep your dog for all this energy, this vibrant, nonstop environment. So how do you find the right person to help you and your dog with all of that? Well, let's break down what makes a really good trainer. This stuff it's the foundation for everything. Okay, if there's one thing you take away from this section, let it be this. Look for a trainer who uses positive reinforcement. This isn't just about teaching sit and stay. It's a humane, science-backed way to build your dog's confidence. And a confident dog is a dog that can handle the city's buzz. You'll want to steer clear of anyone who uses fear, pain, or intimidation tactics. That's a huge red flag. Something else to look for? Professional credentials. Think of them as a quick background check. They show that a trainer has put in the work, that they're educated, and that they're committed to modern, humane methods.
So you're probably going to see a bunch of letters after a trainer's name, and it can look like alphabet soup, I know, but they really do mean something. For instance, CPDTKA means Certified Professional Dog Trainer, Knowledge Assessed. That tells you they've passed a pretty tough exam. Other letters, like CBCCKA, show that the trainer specializes in more serious behavior issues. Bottom line, these credentials tell you that this person has invested in their education and is up to date on what works.
Okay, so now you know what makes a good trainer. But what does the training actually look like? Let's talk about the different formats out there so you can find what fits your life and your dog best. All right, the two big ones you'll see are in-home training and group classes. In-home is awesome for tackling those very specific apartment life problems, like barking when someone walks down the hall or getting the hang of elevator etiquette. Then you've got group classes. These are perfect for practicing focus when there are other dogs and people around, a skill you absolutely need on any Bronx sidewalk. And there are other options too. Private lessons are great because they're completely customized to your goals. Day training can really speed things up, especially if you have a busy schedule. And for really serious behavior stuff, there's Board and Train, which is a much more intensive live-in program. All right, let's get you ready to actually talk to some trainers. Think of this next part as your cheat sheet for that first phone call or email. It'll help you feel way more confident that you're making the right call. So you've narrowed it down to a few trainers who look promising. Now, what do you actually ask them? Here's a list of the must-ask questions. Honestly, a couple of these are real telltales for me. Asking, how will you customize the plan for our Bronx lifestyle is key. And also, what should I practice with my dog between sessions? The way they answer those two questions will tell you a lot about whether they really get your situation and, just as important, how they plan to include you in the training process.
Okay, last section. Let's get down to the brass tacks, money and practice. What can you expect to pay, and where can you go to work on all these new skills?
So let's talk numbers. For just one private lesson in the Bronx, which usually runs about an hour to an hour and a half, you're generally looking at a cost somewhere in this ballpark. And here's a more detailed breakdown for you. You can see that group classes, whether for puppies or adult dogs, are usually sold as a package deal for a few weeks. Then you have things like in-home packages or day training, which are a bigger commitment, and naturally, the price reflects that higher level of service. But cost is only one piece of the puzzle. The other massive piece is practice. Once you have a plan from your trainer, you've got to have good places to actually put in the work. And the Bronx has some fantastic spots for this. Pelham Bay Park, it's NYC's biggest park, so it's amazing for practicing recall where you have lots of space. Van Cortlandt Park has all those trails, which are perfect for working on leash manners around joggers and bikes. And of course, the dog run at Cortona Park is a great spot for some controlled, safe socialization. Just a quick reminder though, always check the NYC Parks website for the latest off-leash hours and rules before you head out. When you find the right trainer, it's really an investment in the life you share with your dog. It's what helps turn the daily grind of city life into a real adventure that you're on together. We really hope you and your dog find that perfect trainer to get you started. Because at the end of the day, having a dog that's comfortable and confident just opens up your world together. It means you get to have those quiet, easy moments at home. It means your walks around the neighborhood are actually enjoyable. And it means visiting with friends is no big deal. It just makes everything better.